Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I was just looking through our contracts here, and I noticed this plant flag on Gilly. That's likely the location we're going to build a colony next, so we're going to go ahead and grab that one. The rest of these seem pretty irrelevant to us, to be honest. However, plant flag on Minmus is something we can do very easily, and science data from space around Minmus is also something that we can do extraordinarily easily right now. So let's go ahead and get both of those done. We're going to hop over to our tracking station, and eventually that will load in. There we go. And we're going to grab our multi-satellite machine relay that is orbiting Minmus, and we are just going to go on to our... Eventually, we're going to go in here, and we are going to grab our thermometer that's on here. We will log that temperature, and we'll transmit that. Not enough electric charge. Yeah, we're going to not require complete. And now we're going to retransmit that. We'll log that temperature. Sure. And we'll transmit that. Yes, there's not enough electric charge. And we're just going to warp on forward. Data received. Fantastic. Now we are going to hop on over to our colony core. There we go. So that's one of our contracts complete. And now let's get the other one done. I think we'll use our pilot for this. Yeah, we may come get our pilot eventually. I'm not sure. We'll see. As long as we're here, let's check in on our research lab. Okay, we don't have basically any science. That's not shocking. And we're just going to have, let's see here, hen fraud is going to EVA. And we're going to let go, and we're just going to fly a little ways away. I'm not actually going to leave this flag up. Okay, we're just going to plant a flag. I don't care what it says, because all we're doing is completing this contract. So there's our contract complete for both of those. We'll cancel that, and now we're going to take down this flag, if we can. We can do that, right? Yes, take down that flag. Perfect. And now we're just going to head right on back in. Ooh, overshot a little bit there. Let's get that fixed. Perfect. And in we go. We'll grab on, and we will board. Okay, so there's those contracts complete. Let's head back to the Space Center. We need to send our power module next, and I can't remember which one. I think it was the mining module that had the wheels get burned off. So I believe that one is the one that we'll have to change around. But let's go ahead and get our power module up there so that we can transmit our science back. Just to double check mission control here, science data from space around Gilly. Now that's something we're going to do eventually, so we may as well grab that one too. The rest of this, I don't think we're going to do anytime soon. I mean, plant flag on Eve and explore Eve. I mean, eventually, yes. We'll go ahead and grab those. Might be a while. We'll see. We'll see. So we're going to hop into the VAB. We need to finish our Minmus colony first. So let's load up our colony power module. There we go. And let's take a quick look at this. Yeah, this should be absolutely fine. No problems here. Cool. I think we launched this as is. There's no space for Kerbals in here, correct? Correct. One thing we could do, however, is at this point we can swap out this remote guidance unit and ditch this Clampatron docking port. There's nothing else attached there, correct? Correct. We can swap that out now for the large remote guidance unit. Is there a point to this, though? The answer is no. No, there is no point to it. I just saved it. Okay. We're going to put all that back. Cool. And now we're going to resave that and launch it. The parts that are detached aren't going to go anywhere. They're just going to functionally disappear. They'll be removed here. I meant to reload it, but I hit the save button instead, so we just undid it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Because I was thinking about that. I think that the reason we're not able to lock to maneuvers is actually because our either mission control... I think it's because our mission control isn't upgraded enough. Actually, let's hop back to the Space Center here real quick. And let's get that upgraded. If we can lock to maneuvers, that'll make things a lot easier. And I just haven't bothered this whole time, but we probably should. Are we going to get everything? Ow, I just, ooh, that was exciting. I was playing with a thumbtack and poked myself. I don't recommend that. Fantastic. So, we need to upgrade our tracking station here for that maneuver tool available, I believe, to get that working. Our mission control could also be upgraded, but I don't actually care about the max active contracts. It's fine. We're going to get our tracking station upgraded here. There we go. So that's now maxed out. The VAB is not yet maxed. The launch pad is. The spaceplane hangar hasn't been touched. The astronaut complex and R&D are fully maxed out. Admin and mission control aren't. For now, this seems fine. We're going to hop over and fly the colony power module. Eventually, we'll probably get everything maxed out, but I'm not too concerned for right now. Cool. So let's get this locked into a flight here. We need to get this thing launched. I just want to double check that we're going to be able to lock to the maneuver node. Come on, you can load on in. There we go. Okay, so SAS on. Well, we don't have a maneuver node, so it's not appearing. And that's fine for the moment. So just double checking the staging, making sure that nothing broke here. I believe this is... Yes, that's correct. That detaches and the fairing at the same time. I believe this is a little broken, so we can have that fire there. And then as far as this undocks. So yeah, that'll be okay. Throttle up, SAS on, and off we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to head on over here. Cool, and we'll just lock to prograde. Beautiful. And up we go. Is this going to be too much horizontal speed and not enough vertical? Maybe, but probably not. I think we'll be fine. We have such an overkill of delta V, it kind of doesn't matter. We don't have to take optimal ascent trajectories, so it will be completely okay. I really need to stop playing with this thumbtack. I'm just going to throw it over onto my bed. I'm sure that will not come back to bite me later. Perfect. Oh boy. That's going to go great. That's going to go great later. I've already forgotten it's there. Perfect. So we're just going to continue to lift on up. And we've got about 35... I just tried to reach over and grab it again. Okay. It's one of those days, I guess. Perfect. We've got about 30 seconds left to burn here on our side tanks. And I think things are looking decent. Time to apoapsis is still increasing. All is looking good. Perfect. Yeah, about 35 seconds to apoapsis. Well, 34. 13 seconds to our split off here. We're about 14 kilometers up and continuing to rise at about 200 meters per second. Actually, yeah, our vertical speed is decreasing right now, but that's probably okay. Off go those side boosters. Fantastic. And we're just going to continue to push up our apoapsis here. Yeah, they're crashing a little bit. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Time to apoapsis is currently decreasing. I'm going to go on to stability assist. We're going to pull slightly off of prograde. I think we do have too much horizontal speed here. So we're just going to try to hang out over here. Time to apoapsis is now increasing. That was a little too aggressive on the gravity turn there. We're still too low. So we're just pushing back over this direction for the time being. We're slightly off on the heading. I suppose that's to be expected. And once we hit an apoapsis height here of around 40 kilometers, I think we can go back to prograde. Cool. So we'll head on back to prograde here. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. A minute 35. This trajectory is definitely on the flat side. And the reason that that's bad is we have a lot of drag that we're dealing with. But it's fine. We've got plenty of delta V for this. We just swapped over into orbital mode here, and we'll be fine. We'll just sit here until we're at 100 kilometers. It'll be okay. That's 80, 90, and I'm going to overshoot by about 10 kilometers here because of drag. 12 kilometers. Sure. Okay, so we've got some drag here. That'll slow us down a bit. But drag is starting to become a lot less of a thing. So that's excellent. But you can see here just how much more delta V we ended up burning on Ascent here because we stayed low for so long. We were too aggressive on that turn. No doubt about it. But it's fine. Not actually a problem. What is this icon? The maneuver tool. Interesting. I've never actually used this built-in maneuver tool. We may try that out. That's what it was saying, having access to the maneuver tool. Right. We'll see about that. So we're just going to head up over here, and at the apoapsis, we are going to add a maneuver. There we go, and we'll push that out. Yeah, we don't have the ability to lock to maneuver. That's okay. I keep thinking that these remote guidance units have that ability. Apparently that's... Oh, it's right here. I'm dumb. Sure. Transfer options. We need to be in a reasonably circular parking orbit around a celestial body. Okay, so apparently there's a, like, built-in MechJeb thing nowadays. I've never experimented with it. I'm probably wildly late to the party. We should ditch our fairing at this point, and once we hit space, extend some of our solar panels. Not really a huge amount of point to extending more than, like, one right now, I think. So if we were to extend this solar panel as soon as we hit space, that will allow us to recharge our batteries. Fantastic. And we should be on maneuver mode here. Man, that's going to make things so much easier, being able to lock to maneuver. So we need to be in a reasonably circular orbit to use this maneuver tool. So let's try to use that and see what this is. As far as I'm aware, this is built into the base game nowadays, and this is not, like, part of a mod. And actually, yeah, we can tell that because this is the mod toolbars down here. So we'll give it a go. I do, of course, know how to do these transfers on my own. We've been doing it this whole time. But if this makes it easier, then cool. So we're going to need to get into a circular orbit before we can use that. Let's warp on forward to about 30 seconds, 10 seconds, and now 5 seconds until this burn. Cool. 2, 1, and mark. And off we go. Okay. And that's a reasonably circular orbit, if you ask me. So let's see what this looks like. So this is to the moon, circularization delta V estimate. Okay, so... And then if we go to Minmus... It's going to require an inclination change, right? Let's just... Or, do we have to manually do the inclination change? If we were to create this... That's quite an encounter. Sure. That burn starts in 24 days. So I think that we can maybe get this better if we do the inclination change first. So let's go ahead and set Minmus as our target. And get into the correct plane by going to the descending node. And I always do that wrong. Okay, bringing this down like so. 2, 1, and 0. There is a 0 there. Oh, other direction. There we go. Cool. We'll lock to that maneuver node and warp our way over. Fantastic. And we will commence this warp. That burn will be in 8 minutes. Beautiful. 2, 1, and 0. So let's see what this does if we're in the correct inclination. Because we weren't in the correct inclination, it still found an encounter. So let's see how this ends up going. Like I said, I've never used the maneuver tool before. So we're going to get this done in 5 seconds. And mark. I've used MechJeb's similar systems before. But mostly I just make them by gut. Okay. This is probably close enough. How are we looking? 0.1? Okay, let's go ahead and create this. That's cheaper. Yeah, that's definitely a lot better of an encounter, actually. So it definitely performs better if you do the inclination change first, but it finds a decent encounter. I'm not going to call this the world's greatest encounter, but it's a starting point. Okay. It's definitely a starting point. So we can bring this down to be something a bit more like this by tweaking it. And we can prepare for this burn. We're going to be in quite an inclination, but that's okay. I don't actually care about that. We could toss in potentially some inclination changes into this burn. And yeah, it's an interesting starting point, to be sure. I'm going to get rid of this inclination change. I don't actually care about it. We've got so much delta V, I'm just going to bring this in a little bit closer and call it good. That's an impact trajectory. There, that'll do. Okay, so these are transfer options here, and then it gives us an estimate of what our circularization will take at these different periapses. Fascinating. And we can turn off creating the alarm. I don't actually want these alarms. So we're going to delete these alarms. Cool. And we're just going to use the maneuver. This burn would be in 53 days. I did just notice that. Let's do it ourselves. That's longer than I'm looking to wait. So we're going to hop over here, and Minmus is here. So just by our gut, we're going to add a maneuver around here-ish. Probably going to have to change that timing. It's not bad. This periapsis is 100 kilometers. So we can fine-tune that in, and there we go. Basically the same encounter, for basically the same delta V. It just takes place in 6 minutes instead. I kind of like my orbit better. I'm going to be honest. We're going to align for this. And we could have fine-tuned it a little bit more, for sure, but we have so much delta V. I don't care. It's fine. We also want to make sure that we turn off fuel transfer through here. There we go. That will help matters. And let's go ahead and warp for this burn. Cool. We're 1 minute away now. Just being able to lock to the maneuver node is a huge help. Okay. We're about 5 seconds away from this burn. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And off we go. Almost looks like we're going to the moon, but we're not. We're burning a little late for going to the moon. And we're going to be burning this stage out. We would usually have a little bit more in this, but our ascent was awkward. Cool. And off we go. So we've got about another minute of burn time here. Ooh, I do not like the way these batteries compress when we physics warp this. That looks like a recipe for krakening here to me. I'm going to quick save just in case we kraken. And let's go ahead and do this. Yikes. Okay, looks like we're not really picking up a major kraken. That's probably overshooting a bit. Yes, indeed. We're going to need to pull back to retrograde and fine-tune this orbit, but that's fine. So we're going to just pull this back ever so slightly here. This is not going to require very much. Very gently. There, that'll do. Beautiful. At this periapsis, of course, we're going to circularize and bring this on down to be something along the lines of this. Cool, that'll do. We'll align for that maneuver. And off we go. Goodbye, Kerbal. Goodbye, Moon. And hello, Minmus. Fantastic. We just got 40 science points from the surface deployed ion collector on the moon. That's nice. And now we're loading into Minmus. There we go. Beautiful. So, of course, we've got another 1,000 meters per second in this, a full kilometer per second. And we're just going to line up here and warp on forward. Our nice minty snowball here. Commencing our burn now. Beautiful. So this burn will be continuing for a little bit here. Excellent. And we will cease this burn a little further. Now. Cool. That'll do the trick. And of course, we're going to be looking to land at this colony core. So, you know what that means. It's going into the darkness. So it's time to orbit. We're going to go ahead and warp here. I want to land in the sunlight. In fact, I'm just going to manually warp here. 1000x. Whoa, okay. 10,000x breaks things a little bit. Cool. We're just going to chill on 1000x for the moment, and we're going to let the colony core come on around. I'm going to give this one more orbit here. And I'm going to give it one more orbit. Okay. So now we're going to come around over here, do our inclination change. We're control locked at the moment. Where's our satellite? It's over here. Yeah. We'll have to warp around until we get a signal. Okay, now we've got a signal. And we're going to go ahead and do a maneuver around here. Burning down something kind of like this, but we can also toss some retrograde into that, which would mean we would need a little bit less normal. That's overshooting a bit. There. Something kind of like this. Cool. We'll act to that maneuver node. And we will prepare for this burn. Let's warp. Excellent. And we can, I suppose, set our colony core as our target if we wanted to, but there's not really a need to do that. That is our location that we're going to right there, and we will commence this inclination change now. Excellent. We've got about 5 seconds left to burn here. We'll call that good enough, most likely. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, and... oh, we have a KER on this. That's nice. So, sometime around here, we're going to ditch our vertical, or rather, our horizontal speed. Coming on in something like this, and then we'll do some corrective burns on the way down, I'm sure. Because that's not going to be exactly right. Yeah, I don't think that'll be exactly right. But it's close enough. We're, of course, coming in over here. So let's just flip around to the maneuver node. And this burn will be in about 6 minutes. So let's warp on forward towards that. Although I'm going to roll so that we're a little bit more vertically oriented. Cool. And over we go. Excellent. So we're going to burn this in about a minute here. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and mark. Excellent. Now this tank is full, so that's fine. We're just killing this velocity for the moment, and then we'll head on over this direction, I'm sure. We're still a little ways up, and I would like to let this fall. So we're going to be ditching this stage and switching over to our landing thrusters here. Okay. Let's go ahead and undock this. And that'll generate some seismic data for us. We're now going to grab ourselves control from here. And we're just going to rotate a bit here. There we go. And we'll activate these engines. Fantastic. Okay, now we'll just wait until we're a little more clear here In fact, I'm just going to burn the engines a tiny amount here, just to get us some distance there. Cool. Now, we can see we're pretty far off. So I want to burn in target mode here. Let's go ahead and set this as our target. And we're going to head over this direction, burning at the horizon. We only want the horizontal speed. And I just want to overshoot this a little bit. Cool. We'll head over to surface retrograde. And we can warp in a bit. So to sometime around here, about a minute in the future. Beautiful. I'm going to hop into radar altitude mode. Not that that actually helps anything. Okay. And let's go ahead and commence our horizontal velocity kill here. Okay. We know where the horizontal velocity marker needs to be, approximately there. So that's looking reasonable. Let's head into surface retrograde mode. We're still a bit above the surface, so let's just go ahead and warp this on down. Cool, there's some impact happening. I think we already have all of our seismic data. And I'm not exactly sure at this point where our impact point is. But what I do know is that we need to pull our retrograde, or rather push our retrograde node over this way. Something kind of like that. Although a little further. Cool. There we go. And we're just going to drop on down until we are under 1 kilometer away, I think. Well, we're actually going to be really close here. Just looking at how far away we are from this compared to our height here, we're only about 100 meters away right now, and we're continuing to get closer. So that's great. We can certainly continue to push this node over here. Being on stability assist would make this a lot easier. Okay. Little bit of trajectory correction there. This is now loaded in. We're now about 1 kilometer away. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out some surface velocity here, while continuing to keep our trajectory about right. Cool. We're now down to about 9 meters per second. Excellent. I still haven't spotted our impact point. Oh, this is it right here, isn't it? Yeah, that's it right there. So we can bring this over to be about there. And then come on over to retrograde. It's going to be slightly further than that. I do want to rotate us while that's nice and easy to be about like that. Cool. And let's commence our deceleration here. 10 meters per second. Okay. About 6 meters per second. I want it to be a little slower than this. We'll turn our brakes on. Cool. We're accelerating a tiny amount here, but this is completely and totally fine. Okay, we'll start our deceleration ever so gently. And in we come. Beautiful. Just adjusting our throttle a little bit. We can set this as our target. We can come down slightly faster than this. There we go. Beautiful. Cool. So there's our landing. We landed about 40 meters away. Not bad at all. Let's turn off our brakes. Actually, before we get going, let's turn our brakes up to 200%. We've been needing to do that. So we'll get that up there. And we're going to need to turn our SAS off as well, or rather turn it over to SAS only. SAS only. SAS only. And SAS only. Beautiful. Oh, we appear to be reversing. Fascinating. So reverses forward. We can go ahead and switch that. We can set the motor to reverse, 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 and reverse. There we go. Now forward is correct. And we're just going to slowly ease our way on in. Fantastic. So we'll just turn over here in a moment. Oh, our turning is reversed. Good to know. That's fine. I can be used to that. So we're just gently easing our way over here. Want to overshoot this a little bit more. There we go. That's a better alignment. And let's bring this guy right on in. Beautiful. Cool. Brakes can go on as of now. And we will control from here. We seem to be sitting a little bit below this docking port, don't we? That's interesting. There we go. Now we're docked up. Fantastic. And with that, it is also time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll get this thing strutted in, or I might do that off camera, and we're going to bring in our mining module and finish up our Minmus colony. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Unisoul, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.